your new partner
Uh-huh.
has the highest statistical probability of being abusive to your children and your
Oh
children's
yeah.
lives.
Oh yeah.
So people don't always love your kids the way you love them, and kids are challenging even when you love them.
Let's go, let's go, let's grow, let's grow, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's go, let's go, let's grow, let's grow, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's go.
All right, folks, welcome to Black Dad Unfiltered. We have our special guest today, Brandice Manuel, singer, dancer, teacher, most importantly, mom. We're doing something different this time. We're going to have a 3-part series where a dad talks to a mom in an unfiltered way. We ask ourselves questions, we get into conversations, and just really have you hear this conversation. And hopefully, we walk out with this. So Brandice is going to represent the moms. I'm going to represent the dad. Brandice, I'm really looking forward to just having a conversation and learning from you. But tell our guests a little bit about yourself, and then let's rock and roll with our first topic, our first of 3.
Well, a bit about myself. I am a performing artist by trade, and through my family, what the family business is entertainment. And so I've been teaching for a long time, and then I had kids. I had 2 beautiful boys, and one of my eldest is on the spectrum. And so I've been navigating my motherhood journey with my career and with life, and with being, solo parenting 2 boys. And Coach Rod here has oftentimes been my male voice of reason. And I come to him for guidance, and we exchange wonderful ideas. So I'm really glad that we are bringing this to the people. The people want to know.
Well, what I'm really shocked about, this is not how we sound offline, Brandice. This is your professional voice. I ain't mad at you, folks. Me and Brandice go back, man, godly 15, 16 years. And like to what you said, I often go to you, and I'm an overprotective dad, and funny enough, you bring that Chi-Town flavor. Oh, they gonna get hurt though? I'm like, you're right. I'm doing a little too much. So our first topic, right? And I definitely want to hear your perspective. It's when is it a good time to introduce a new partner to your kids? How do you introduce a new partner to your kids? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, especially because, again, you have 2 boys. You shared one is on the spectrum. And so bringing, someone into their life, and vice versa. As a guy, I have 2 daughters, and, I like to think I'm their world. So let's talk about this a little bit.
Well, I'll start because I've seen lots of variations of how this is done, right?
Okay.
Before myself, when I first became a solo parent, my kids were very little still. They were still like maybe 3, 4, 5 in that range. And I just didn't feel comfortable. I felt like my little private life was something I do on the side. And if somebody if we made it to that point, okay, that would be a time to perhaps introduce them to my kids. But I just wanted to create this sense of stability with them. So I just wanted to keep things very, very simple, especially because they were very little.
That's interesting. I'm about to pivot because as you were talking, something just hit my mind. Right? Because you used the word, I have my own little private life, right? And they were little. So I'm going to bring this back to me. And what I'm going to do now, we're pivoting. So I know you, and I know you're in entertainment, so you could do this with me. So let's say we're in a relationship, but I keep you as part of my private. Now I have older kids, right? My kids are teenagers. One of them is going into adulthood, but I keep you as part of my private life. I don't really, bring you in front of my kids. My kids don't even know you exist.
Right.
And now not only are you a woman, a beautiful woman, but you're a mom dating a man that's not really bringing you around his children.
Right.
Walk me through what's going on in your head.
So this happened. Well, it happened in reverse, and I was not a fan. I went on a date. This was maybe like our second date.
Yeah.
And he says, the boys are at home. I'm going to swing by and check on them after we had dinner. And I'm like, cool, I get it. And I'm thinking, this is before I had kids too. I was single. And
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm just going to sit in the car. He says, come on in. And I'm like, okay. Next thing I know, cute little faces is popping up out the basement. And, then he's introducing me to them. And I felt like, oh my God, I don't want your kids to know me yet. Because even as a single person, I just felt like we're not there. I don't know how long this is going to go. Now,
Yeah.
his business, he felt comfortable doing it. That was fine. I
Sure.
wish I had gotten a heads up because I just wanted to get to know him at first because I still don't know how I even feel about you, let alone
Yeah.
now you got the little cute kids coming up and, being all cute. I was very conscious of the fact that I didn't want to be, despite what their father had going on, I didn't want to be a woman who they saw kind of come in and then come out. Like, say if he had a string of women coming in and out, and then I was one of them. Just
Ah.
because
Yeah.
I didn't like that. And that was just out of my general respect for children. But that wasn't my place to say because it's his house, his rules. Now, if I'm dating a guy and he doesn't introduce me to his children right away, I think that's fine. On the same way I wouldn't introduce you to my kids right away. Let's just have a moment where we figure out, is this person sane? Is this person trustworthy?
Mm-hmm.
What is the level of integrity with this person? What is this person's character? Because your kids are going to take a lot of their cues about relationships, about men and women, about how they should behave in relationships or what they should come to expect. They're going to model after what you show them more so than what you say. So you just kind of, and there's lots of conversations for two individuals to have about children, about family, about child rearing, about discipline before you even introduce and get the kids in there. Adults need to work adult business out. So
Okay.
if it's the beginning phases, I'm okay with that. But once we get to a certain point, which again is where I say there's lots of conversations that need to be had because I feel like as a woman, as a mother, we don't have a lot of time to waste, honey. It takes a lot to date as a mom. You got to find a sitter, which sometimes means that I'm coming out of my pocket before we step out the door. So I'm pretty selective about who and when and where I do those things if you don't have like a family member to help you, watch your kids for free or whatever. So, yeah, not to mention, I think
I'm gonna push back a little bit. I'm gonna push back, not push
you
back.
can push back, but statistically,
Yeah.
your new partner
Uh-huh.
has the highest statistical probability of being abusive to your children and your
Oh
children's
yeah.
lives.
Oh yeah.
So people don't always love your kids the way you love them, and kids are challenging even when you love them. So you just got to really make sure that somebody's in there for the gauntlet of parenting together and co-blending a family, not just because they think you hot. You could think I'm hot and I keep you over there.
Well, so I love what you said, and I don't disagree with anything you said. And pushback was I actually want to dive in. That's probably what I should have said. Because you still didn't answer my question. What's that inflection point, right? I get everything.
What's the point where you introduce them?
Yeah. So so recapping, because you shared a lot with me, and it makes sense. I think on the surface it makes sense to everyone, right? You don't do it in the beginning. Everyone is clear on that, right? But I think what I want to be honest of, there's a certain trepidation about even doing it at all because obviously you're a solo parent. I'm a divorced dad. And so there's certain things that carry what. That's why this conversation is not for everyone. There's certain things that we carry emotionally. So like, give me something that says, you know what, this person might be in a position right now to meet the kids. Like, what's that point, whether it's emotionally or mentally for you, that you're sitting and saying, you know what, if we're gonna do this, you should meet my kids. Like, what triggers that?
How they handle me. So just because just because you don't meet my kids doesn't mean that when we're on the phone talking, you won't hear about my life, which very much includes my children.
Mm.
And so when someone's response, if you say today, I say, oh, it was a crazy day with the kids, and so and so, twisted their ankle,
Yeah.
and we were in the rain, and everybody, you're just telling them about your normal stuff, and we're limping to the car, and da da da, and they're like, "Hey, are they okay? You know what? I know somebody who's in this field. I could
Ah,
maybe connect you with them. Or do
good
you
point.
need anything?
Hmm.
Can I help you guys out? I know maybe you had like, and they're taking steps to say, I care about you and the kids. I care about what's going on in your life, even though I'm not there, and I want to do things to be a part of it in the way that I can be right now. That kind of stuff. If someone, I feel like this person shows up, they say they're going to do something, they're definitely going to do it. They're a person of their word. I feel like they're trustworthy. I feel like this person's got good work ethic, they've got good discipline, and they keep showing up for me and my kids despite the fact that we haven't done that yet. Things they say in conversation, if I'm talking
Yeah.
about my kids, are they like, oh, that's messed up? If it was my kid, I would such and such and such it. Well, I'm just taking a little mental note, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to if they say, man, that's a really tough situation, and I think you did a great job. I guess all you can really do is sit down and talk to them and get to the bottom of it. I'm also taking a mental note of that stuff too. And when enough checks are balanced, I say, hey, it could be something that's like, we're going to be at the park. Why don't you come and
Hmm.
meet us there? Like a soft kind of
Yeah.
introduction, as and kind of gradually test it out, see how your kids think about it. My kids are really smart, and they're trying to get me. They want me to be with everybody. One year
Take
they were
her
like,
from us.
I
Take her.
found the
We tired.
perfect husband for you, Santa Claus. He got
Ah.
money, he got gifts, he only worked one day a year. This perfect, Mom.
So you actually said something. I've never, when my mind is processing, I never thought about it this way. You said the way he shows up for my kids. And as a man, and give me some time here, my initial thinking is, wait a minute, I gotta pay for kids' clothes. But the way you framed it was not how he shows up necessarily literally for the kids, but how he shows up through me for the kids, such as, oh, hey, I have a friend that can possibly help, that coaches basketball, send them there. So that's how we can, as men, be a part of it, support it, and not, and then not be necessarily about money per se. Because I know that's a stigma a lot of people, a lot of men have with women, and a lot of women have with men. But that I
Yes.
never thought about it that way. That's pretty dope.
What
That's
about
really
you?
dope.
He
What
put you
about
in the
me?
hot seat.
What you talking about?
Dating kids?
Ah, man.
Come
So
on.
yeah, right. Let's talk about it. That's what we're here for, right? You can get the answers to your questions too.
So you thought I was
Um,
just gonna keep talking and you was gonna move on.
yeah, man. I was like, well, we got half an hour. She is an actress. You know what I mean? I play my Oscar. Wrap it up, B. But
No,
no.
no, no, no.
So that's, I don't know, man. That's just like that's my natural reaction. Is like, okay, one. So here's the thing: you don't know how your kids are gonna respond.
Right.
More importantly, you don't. Are you prepared for the questions that they're gonna ask you? Right. And so, and then because I'm fortunate. My kid's mother is an amazing person. We
Mhm.
just don't work well together, but she herself is a beautiful, amazing person. And so we parallel parent or co-parent, whichever term you want to use. I'm more of a
Mhm.
parallel. She's more of a co. It is what it is.
Got you.
You got it, right? But
Yeah.
so I still show that reverence for her, especially in front of my kids. So
Right.
my kids still love their mom. I mean, not still. They love their mom. So now I'm in this place where it's like, okay. And context, I was married for a long time.
Mhm.
So now it's just like, wait a minute. This ain't clean cut. It's almost better if we hated each other. Right?
I,
It's
I
not
can see
clean
how this.
cut. I mean, it's not clean cut. So it's just like, you know, hey, it's her one of my kids' birthday. We're all having dinner together. Like, so now how do you see your dad, who's always been, there for you 100% as his, as my children, as your father? You have your mom who you love, and then dad's like, oh, by the way, I got this girl that I like. How do you even say to your kids, yeah, there's this girl that I like? I'm dad. I'm not a guy. So it's a bit hard. And then, your kids were young, my kids were older, right? When I did one of those, you in it for the kids, right? And then you wait till the kids are a little bit older,
right?
So be honest with you, I don't know how to do it. At some point, well, my thought process, because I went through this actually, was I'm gonna push this off as long as I can. Right? I'm being honest with you. I'm just gonna push it off as long as I can, because some of the things that I've noticed is I don't want to bring somebody into my kid's life and then you end a relationship with me.
Heck yeah.
Because for them, that's 2 divorces.
Yes.
That's not one. But I also don't want to give, especially I have daughters, man. So, whatever it is, man, I'm very sensitive to my girls. I don't want you to think that it's okay for me to be like, I'm with, like DMX, Felicia, Brenda. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Persona.
You know what I'm saying? That I'm just bringing random people. But when I do bring someone, it's probably someone that I've been, talking to for a year or a year and a half. And I'm like, you know what? We're not going anywhere. But then now I got you upset with me. So, to be honest with you, revisionist history, I think before introducing someone to your kids, you have to introduce the topic of someone coming else into this life. I had a conversation with my son, and by all means, this is informal, so interject whenever you want. But I literally said this to my son. I said, as I get older, you're gonna go down this totem pole, and whoever my partner is gonna go up. Right? And everyone I say this to me looks at me crazy. And you're like, what? I said, yeah.
No, it's the gospel. You always say that.
Yeah.
And just so you always tell me, Brandice, one day these kids are gonna grow up. Forget about us. And what you're gonna be there with you and what you've built. I take that to heart. I took that to heart. I took that as like a super life lesson, because when I thought about it, I was like, oh my God, that is so true. And especially I feel like as parents, and I'll speak from a mother's point of view, mothers just are taught like it's expected that you pour into your children selflessly. It's almost like an automatic kind of a thing. You just want the best, and it makes you happy when your kids have the best, and when they have this, and you feel like you're accomplished in this overwhelming field of motherhood. You want to do a good job, but the simple fact of the matter is, one day them kids are going to leave you. And do you have your health? Do you have your sanity? Do you have anything that you built for yourself? Friendships, relationships, anything that you built for yourself. So to the other point that you made, talking about having these pre-conversations, because my kids were so young when we began our co-parenting, and they would go to their father's house for this time and that time and all these things, I had very open conversations with them very, very early, because I needed us to know that nothing was taboo and nothing was off the table. We're a very sex positive, body positive family, because it was so important that they could come and talk to me about anything as if it was just talking about colors or food, and that it wasn't taboo, to protect them. So I teased things out while I was minding my business. I would tease, what would you think about this? And that's why I'm like, they're like, yes, get married again. And we'd be outside, they'd be like, what about him? And I'm like, look, calm down, everybody. Calm down. We have to find a nice guy. But they were on board. That made me feel better. Now, had they not been on board, I probably would have had to see what it was that was making them feel uncomfortable about it. And then we worked on that versus just springing somebody on there. Now, my boys are super cool. I even remember one time I said, what would you think if I introduced a guy to you and I was dating him and I can't guarantee it's going to work out, but what if we all got close and we thought that we were going to be a family, and then that didn't happen and they went away? How would you feel? And they stopped and they were like, we would be maybe a little upset, but we would get over it because that's his loss. You're an amazing person.
No, but that's cool. That's super cool. But I don't trust kids. I don't, right? I mean, to that point, I think what you're doing is great. However, actually, no, I think what you're doing is great. There is no however. My concern is always, because your brain's not fully developed, do you really understand what you're going to feel? And how is this going to play out in the long run, right, with you? And then number two, so this is layered, right? Because again, you have two layers to this. We're talking from a parent perspective, but you have people that are divorced that don't have kids. It's a whole different conversation, right? Because you can do whatever the heck you want at that moment. Yeah. It's just a matter of what baggage are you carrying, or are you not aware you're carrying? But when you do have the children, which what we're speaking to, it's a lot. Like, I'm almost of the mindset now where, hey, wait till your kids are gone, wait till my kids are gone, they can know we exist. And from there, when you 18, 19, you decide if you want to be part of this circle. Understand that I am moving in this direction, because it's a lot. Like, I realize, I know we're talking about when is the right time, but this conversation is going to segue now, right?
Right.
Because and you tell me how you feel hearing this as a mom. One of the things that now I'm trying to discern, not trying to discern, is our parenting philosophies are different, right? How do we align that? These ain't my kids. Doesn't mean I don't want to be a father figure to them, but they're not mine. I'm not delusional. You know what I mean? Right. I know at any moment they can turn around and say, okay, screw you, and go XYZ. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that also is part of the formula for me. You know what I mean?
That's why I said, when you are getting to know someone, there's lots of conversations that you need to happen, because I think I had this conversation with someone when we were kind of like, we had a long friendship and grew into adults. And then we're like, hey, maybe we should try this out. Yeah. And being that I have a child who, is a neurodiverse person, he's amazing. He's wonderful. He's super intelligent, but he's also a bit strong-willed. And there are some things that you could misunderstand him if you don't kind of get his quirks and his humor. And so that already for me was something that I was insecure about. And so part of that introduction to my family and my children without them being present was me being honest, or even having someone on the phone with me when I was at home doing my thing. So you can just hear and see what a normal evening is like in my house. And I remember one guy said to me, Brandice, you think I'm scared of your kids? I ain't scared of your kids. I'm a grown ass man. Ooh, I tried not to curse.
That's okay. You from the shy. It's all good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But it caught me off guard. Because some of this is I think when you get with someone and you guys couple and you think it's going to be forever, you think we're going to be a family, we're going to be together forever. So when it doesn't happen like that, all this is uncharted territory. And while some women feel very comfortable, perhaps, with dating and their kids and introducing people because they feel like it's my life and I have to live and I'm not judging, I didn't feel that way. I felt like I have this portion of a life that I was supposed to share with someone. And now here I am with my portion of this life, and I'm trying to figure out and navigate how to continue to move forward. So I just took it really, really, really slow. And I kept things very, very separate because, like you said, kids their brains are undeveloped. We don't know how that's going to affect them. So I figured it was best for me to kind of like get myself together and figure out how I felt and how get my situation settled within myself to where I even felt confident enough before bringing someone in. The other thing I want to say is there's no right way. There's no good way because every family is different. Everyone's
Mm-hmm.
children are different. The
Mm-hmm.
relationships are different. The communication is different. There's no right way to do it. Like I said, I've seen other people do it and I've seen people adjust really, really well, but the heart was there, right? So this person had made the decision that I love you and I love everything that comes along with you. And so, whatever the challenges are that we're going to encounter in this thing, I'm here for it because I believe that on the other side, or I
Yeah.
believe that this is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like where you have to fall no matter what. Nothing's going to be easy about it. There is no
Yeah.
easy. Either you want to be in a family or you don't. And if you don't want to be a part of a family, don't date a woman with kids. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you feel that
Yeah.
strongly about it. And I don't feel that anyone should have to do anything that they don't want to do. And I'm not
Sure.
judging, but you just have to just be very clear. If you're dating a woman with children, are you ready to step in? Because kids are so loving and so open-hearted that despite the fact that they may have their own other parental unit, they're
Yeah.
still going to grow attached to you as another parental unit.
So let me ask you a question because you just well not ask you a question. I do have a question, but I'm gonna tell you what I heard. You actually gave me a formula now that I think can be pretty consistent.
Okay.
Do they love you and all that comes with you?
Yes.
And so and you've said it around about, but this is how my mind finally got to it. It's even for as a guy, she can love you. How are we exposing her to all that comes with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
To see if she or he warrants getting now to meet probably the most important parts of you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because meeting your children, believe it or not, is a form of vulnerability.
Super.
Right? It's a form of because I'm held accountable now to this outcome. So now I'm gonna ask you for some advice because I'm gonna switch because I did have a question. As you were talking, I was thinking, right?
Okay.
So go back your daughter, right? I'm asking as a dad now.
Yeah.
You tell me, and you're a teenage daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me how should I bring someone? No, first backtrack. You tell me what are your initial questions you have when dad says, "Hey, there's someone I'm serious about. I want you to meet her." Like, be honest. Don't be your polished self. Like, what are your first thoughts? You're a daddy's girl. What are your first thoughts?
Okay, so it's hard for me to track this as a teenager. But because I experienced it much older, right? I
Yeah,
experienced
yeah.
it as a grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing is
Mm-hmm.
there has to be like a period of healing when there's a split in a family. So if you, I was gonna say something real triggering. I was gonna say if you split from their mother and then you immediately show up with some person, you're a horrible person. You're selfish. You don't care about anybody but yourself. Okay, because that is not the time. Put that on the side. Do your business on the side. Probably wasn't right if it happened that quick. But everybody needs, you know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
needs a chance to just kind of settle and find a new normal with just them. Y'all bond has to be reestablished, right? So I would hope that in the midst of that, when everything feels super unstable, that my dad would just take the time to reestablish our relationship aside from the family unit. Like we need to heal each other. There may be things that I don't like about the separation or the divorce. There may be stuff that I need to get off my chest. Let's deal with that first, because anybody who you bring in before we deal with that is just going to be someone else that's going to catch the heck that I'm about to unleash because I haven't processed that and me and you not right. Now here you come with someone else. So you guys have to get this right first and give that some time. Once you feel like y'all are at a good place, I would say start those conversations. I'm thinking about dating again. What do you think about that? And start there, because every kid, every person, like I said, some kids might be like, I think it's a good idea. You should do it. You're a great person. I know a guy, he separated from his wife, had a lot of children. They are so champion him because they think he's such a great guy and they want to see him happy. They want to see him with a partner. And if they object, I am not having it, I'm not feeling it. You just got to figure out why. Is it because you feel like somebody's going to replace you? Is it because you feel like dad doesn't have enough time, or dad doesn't have enough love? Or is it because you're secretly hoping that mom and dad may still reconcile and get something back together? Um, Either one of those things. And then you have to dig in that and fix that and shore that up. And you might not be aware of some things where you need to step it up on your end as a dad. And that communication will help you say, I see how I could do better, or I see that there's a gap here and I can fill it in like this, and this. After that, you got to retable that. That's why it's like, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
to retable that communication and say, this is how I'm feeling. At the same time, while you're doing your due diligence and what you're supposed to do as a parent, like you said, one day they're going to grow up and they're going to leave you.
Man, listen,
They're
I
going
told
to leave
you.
you. So you do have to follow your heart and follow your gut and your instincts and do what it is that you're supposed to do for
So
yourself.
again, recapping what I'm hearing from you. One, don't feel guilty that you do want to be in a relationship, right? Because you're
No.
entitled to that, right? Because
Yes.
the kids will leave you. It's just
They
a
will
matter of
leave
time.
you.
And they'll leave you their freshman year in college if they go to college. You know what I mean? It just is what
Yeah.
it is. And technically speaking, you're raising them to leave you. They have to be independent, right?
If you're doing a good job, you are raising them to go off and be self-sufficient without you.
Right. Number two, there's a formula to this, which is that person, that partner has to want to be with you and accept, or want to be want to be a part of everything that comes with you.
Yeah.
If they can at least get to that, then you're saying they weren't a conversation, but before weren't introduction. But before then, and this is the first time I've ever heard this, so thank you. And we talk all the time. It's, have you repaired your relationship with your children? I never even thought about that. You think about, how do you tell them that you're divorcing, right? You
Right.
think about them, having outlets to express themselves. But I never thought as a dad and my daughters and my son that we are in relationships. And I have to now look at that relationship because the environment of that relationship has been impacted. And, like a
Yeah.
wellness check. How are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
And rebuild that. And now that you say that, if you do that, it almost lets you know when it's okay to bring somebody in, because
Yeah.
now you're preaching. Once I got past that whole, I don't know who you were in the beginning, well, I'm Brandice Manuel.
It's not
And then,
always that.
when you go back, you'll be like this. But, it's like, this is what you were doing 15 minutes in. I brought the shy out. No, but that's really helpful. So, because we're up against the clock, I guess and if you have any questions for me, by all means ask, right? Because this is an opportunity for moms to hear from
Yeah.
dads and hear
Yeah.
how we think, So if you so how do you set an environment with your children? Because the responsibility is on the man now, checking these boxes off for you, the man, for me, woman, checking these boxes off to gain access to coming in. How do you set the environment to welcome someone in now, and that environment being your children?
I don't think well, first of all, it's not on them to check off any boxes. They don't have to do anything. It's on me to do the screening, right? It's on you as the parent. People can live their own life. It's on me to do the screening. And like I said, you just have to, I think you have to set fair expectations with everybody, right? So that person, I don't know what adult, but maybe they do think that I'm going to walk into this person's family and everything's just going to be perfect. I'm going to be the perfect this and the perfect that. And depending on whether that person has children, which they may have more realistic expectations, or they don't have children, and they totally are blind and don't know what to expect, you have to kind of help facilitate that. And that's why I say, take it in small doses, right? Like, don't move nobody in and then be like, we a family. But like we played at the park. Start places where I'm just prioritizing the kids here. Start at things that the kids are going to feel comfortable with, that give the kids the opportunity to be themselves and show up as their best self. Like, don't put everybody in a situation that's going to make people uncomfortable on either side. So if you know this guy from the park, and then we met with that guy mom's friend and we went to that ice cream place. And then we went with mom's friend and we went to the jump zone place.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then after jump zone place, they came over, we had dinner, right? They came over, we had dinner, we
Mm-hmm.
talked. And then like you give people,
I see what you're
everybody gets
saying.
an opportunity to take a little dip in and a little dip out and process. And then a little dip in and a little
I
dip
like
out and
that.
process. And
I
a
like
dip
that.
in and that way you can everybody can kind of be in communication and be checking on each other and say, how did you feel about that? Well, how did that go? Or even for yourself, you go, I thought that either went great or they not ready. They said they was
Yeah,
ready, they not ready. And that could be either one, the guy or the kids.
yeah. So as you were talking, the first thing I started getting put off, not by you, but just listening, because it's like, okay, it immediately as a guy, just my natural instinct was, okay, now here I am coming second. Not that I want to be first, but a clear line that I am second to everything, right?
Mhm.
And as a man, I don't want to be, and if I'm going and committing to you, I want to know that, as my boy Carlos would say, I get the big piece of chicken, that I have this place in your life. But as you kept on talking, it made more sense to me. It wasn't necessarily about me having to acquiesce to your life and your children and I get in where I fit in. It was, there's a process for that we can build an environment through tests. I don't know what the right term is, by testing it, the park, the ice cream. And this is how, without having to, you just hop in, you can gradually see if this is an environment that me as a man, can flourish in. Right?
Right.
That
Because
I
say
can.
you meet at the park and the guy's like, this is really cool. When he thinks about it, he's like, I'm out. Your kids don't care about that guy they met at the park.
Yeah, yeah. If
They
the
don't
kids
care.
fall down and your guy's just like, yo, leave him on the
They,
ground.
they won't remember that guy. They won't remember
You get the
him.
joke, right?
The kids fall down and the guy just steps right on over them. Steps right on over them children.
Sorry, inside joke, folks. Sorry to
Yeah,
cut
if
you
he
off.
does that, then you might be like, that's not the one. You stepped over the kid. He said, leave the kid right there. Don't go to that kid. I don't want no problems.
Right? Oh man, I'm excited to see what else we do. I know we coming up at the clock. Again, we're doing a 3-part series, just trying to have some of these conversations and have them authentically, right? I'm very big on the fact that I don't have the answers. I can't give answers. All I can do is ask questions and give my responses. And in that, hopefully I learned something. And I learned a lot today. Again, in particular, if someone's walking away, it's creating a new relationship with your children.
Yeah.
Past any separation, because it is a new culture, it is a new environment, it is a new family dynamic. That's probably the words of wisdom that I walked away with. And I don't know if I shared anything worthwhile, but the kids will leave you is what I want you to walk away with as well.
We'll leave you.
Yes. All right, folks. So again, we're going to keep this series. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about dating. We're just going to talk about what it's like to be post relationship parenting and just re-engaging into this new world. Folks, this is my good friend Brandice Manuel. I'm Coach Rod. We'll always welcome you. You can always follow us on Black Dad Unfiltered on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're on streaming on all social media platforms. And as always, let's go, let's grow, let's get it.
Let's go, let's go, let's grow, let's grow.